So, you live in Missouri near Warrensburg or Whiteman Air Force Base, and you just need a weekend away. Where are you gonna go? I can help you with that. Today, we're gonna talk about 5 of some of the best weekend getaway places to go in Missouri, specifically near Warrensburg. And don't forget to like and subscribe, boop, right down below, because I make a new video every single week all about eating, breathing, sleeping, drinking, playing, working in Warrensburg, Missouri, near Whiteman Air Force Base. You're gonna wanna get notified. And also, my contact information is right below. I talk to people just about every single day of the week who are coming here, moving here, who have questions, and I love it. I just talked to someone who is stationed in Italy. I seem to talk to a lot of people stationed in Italy, actually. It's kind of cool, and I'm jealous because I love pasta. I digress. If you're coming here, if you have any questions, give me a call, give me a text, give me an email. I love talking to people. Today, my lovely friends, we are gonna talk about 5 of the best weekend getaways here in Missouri. Now, it was really hard to pick just 5. That's why I can't say they are the best, because there's so many cool places in Missouri to visit. But these are all places that I have been personally myself, and I had a fantastic time. They were fun, they were inexpensive, and they were just wonderful. And full of history. I'm a big history nerd, so I love going places where everything's old and slightly spooky. Anyway, let's jump into it. And these are in no particular order, but we're gonna start off with Fulton, Missouri. Now, Fulton, Missouri is right down, it's near Jeff City or Columbia. Basically, it's about 2 hours away from Warrensburg or 3 hours away from Kansas City. It's a awesome, really cool little town. It was first established in 1849, but settlers first came there and settled in 1809. So there is so much cool history in this little town. So Fulton is a beautiful little sleepy town, and it's full of really great historic inns and buildings. So if you're a history buff, if you like antiquing, which is pretty much most of the towns on this list are gonna have to do with history, really cool architecture, antiquing, cute little shops, just kind of like a fun place to go visit, eat lots of food, and buy cool stuff. I digress. Fulton. So Fulton is a beautiful little town. It is about 20 miles from the Missouri River. It's about 22 miles from Jeff City. So it's near a big city, but it's right outside of it. So the place that I stayed in Fulton is called the Loganberry Inn, and this is such a cute little inn. It dates back to 1899, and it's right near the Brick District, which is basically the historic downtown district. So you can stay there and you can just walk to all the bars, all the restaurants, all the little shops, and it's so inexpensive. It was $120 a night when I stayed there, which was not too long ago. So you're getting this really great experience, and you can walk everywhere and everything's close by. So you're not like jumping into a car and driving around. Another cool thing is that you can actually choose from 6 different Victorian themed rooms, including the Margaret Thatcher room. So it's just a really like adorable old Victorian inn. And if you're like me and you enjoy that type of thing, you'll love it. Oh, and you get awesome breakfast in the morning. And I'm not talking about like Holiday Inn, like here's a stale bagel. I'm talking about like a 2-course breakfast in the morning, and that's part of your stay. So if you're looking for a really cute date getaway or just a getaway with friends, check out Fulton. Moving on, next we're gonna talk about Weston, Missouri. Now, Weston, Missouri actually is just awesome. It's another old historic town. Weston was actually founded in the downtown historic area, was founded in 1837. So there's so many cool historic buildings on this little downtown street. There's lots of little art stores. There's tons of little like coffee shops, bars, restaurants, and just cool shops. I had a great time walking up and down, and I actually bought some really great art from one of the art galleries. Another great thing about Weston, Missouri, well, there's so many great things. There's a really cool hotel called Hotel Weston. I stayed there. I loved it. It was inexpensive. There's a bar right downstairs attached to the hotel. The bartenders were so nice. The drinks were so good. And it was a really, really cool experience. We went there not too long ago for my older brother's birthday. And we went to Weston because in Weston, there's one of the oldest Irish pubs in the United States. And it was amazing. I felt that the next day. So the Irish pub is called O'Malley's, and they also have their own brewery attached. So we actually went to Weston as a family to go to this Irish pub for my brother's birthday. And let me tell you what, it was founded, like I said, in 1842. It did not disappoint. This pub had like multiple layers. So you go in, you go down these steps, there's this one section, and this had a band, and then you go down even further into this old wine like cellar. There was another band, so there was live music everywhere. It was really cool. It was just a really cool experience. Heads up, your phones don't work down there, which I loved because I was like, yay! No one can talk to me for 2 hours, which is a rare experience. I love talking to people, but sometimes during birthdays, I just have to like shove that phone away. But I digress. Weston, Missouri has a brewery. It has such a cool old Irish pub. It has so many like biking and hiking trails and such a really cool downtown district with so many different like artist shops and antique shops. It was a really great experience. It was inexpensive, and I would definitely go back. Moving on to number 3, we're gonna talk about Hermann, Missouri. Now, if you've ever heard of Hermann, you kind of think of 2 things. You think of wine, and you think of German food. And Oktoberfest. All of those things are combined in Hermann, Missouri. So back in 1837, when the first German settlers arrived in Missouri, they basically founded this town, Hermann, Missouri, and they started making wine, and oh my gosh, lots of wine and lots of German food. This town has so many cute little Airbnbs and little inns, and they just have an amazing selection of cool things to do, from hiking to biking to winery tours to wine tasting to antique stores. There's just so much to do in Hermann, Missouri, and the food is so good. Like if you love German food, I love German food, you will love Hermann, Missouri. And their Oktoberfest, holy moly. Let's just say anytime that you want to visit Hermann, Missouri, and it's gonna be a nice weekend, I hope you booked in advance, because this is definitely a little town where maybe you'll get lucky. I've gotten lucky going there where I just, call all the Airbnbs a couple days before and they've had a cancellation. But plan your trips. That's kind of like with all these little towns. Make sure you try to plan a little bit ahead because man, they fill up real fast, especially during Oktoberfest. You need to book months in advance if you want to go to Hermann, Missouri during Oktoberfest. Another really cool experience that, everyone has to do it once in their lives. They do wine like grape stomping in Hermann. So you can get in this giant vat filled with grapes and take your shoes off and just stomp on the wine. It's totally like that I Love Lucy episode. I'm not even joking. It's really fun. So if you just want to have a really cool, authentic experience visiting wineries and experiencing German culture in Missouri, check out Hermann. The place that I stayed that I will recommend is the Inn at Hermannhof. Now, this was established way back in the early 1800s, and they have 27 different guest rooms that you can choose from, and they also have some cottages. It ranges around $190 per night, so it's not super pricey, but it's a little more expensive than maybe some of the smaller Airbnbs, but I had a wonderful, wonderful experience there, and I would definitely recommend it, and I'll definitely go back. Talking about number 4, we have Hannibal, Missouri. Now, if you're a history buff, you may recognize the name Hannibal, Missouri, because it is the birthplace of Mark Twain. I know, I'm totally a nerd. But if you go to Hannibal, you can see things like the Mark Twain Cave. They have a museum there. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. They have some other really cool caves. And it's just a really great town. It was also established in the early 1800s, so you have all the different little historic shops, historic buildings, antique shops, and beautiful, beautiful, beautiful hiking and biking and walking trails. There's also the Mark Twain Memorial Lighthouse, and that's open year-round. So it's just a really cool experience. It's a great little town. There's lots of little inns, lots of little Airbnbs, and it's just always a really, really fun trip. So if you're looking for some great food, really cool jump into history, if you like reading and authors, check out Hannibal, Missouri. Also, if you have kids that are obsessed with trains, there's a train museum, and you can take a riverboat cruise. It's really fun, I promise. It's like you're jumping back into time when it was like the Wild West, and there's riverboat gambling, and it's just really cool. You can take a Mark Twain riverboat cruise and eat some dinner and look at the beautiful Missouri River. So I definitely recommend Hannibal. And I just realized I said the Missouri River, and it's the Mississippi River. So many rivers. Mississippi, not Missouri. Mississippi River. And number 5, last but absolutely not least, Excelsior Springs, Missouri. So Excelsior Springs is about 45 minutes from Warrensburg. It's about 15 minutes from Kansas City. So it's super close, and I love this town. It's, as you can imagine, named after all of the springs that were there that were known more as like healing water. So there's actually like a museum called the Hall of Waters that you can go and walk around in. There's a little downtown area with really good shops and restaurants, and it's just a really awesome experience. There's also about 90 acres of parks to walk around, hike in. It's just beautiful. There's lots of little cliff areas and springs, of course. But my favorite thing about Excelsior Springs, Missouri is a hotel called the Elms. So the Elms Hotel is a 130-year-old hotel in Excelsior Springs, Missouri, and it is just beautiful. It's a beautiful, 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 beautiful hotel. And I'm a little biased because I actually got married here. That's how much I like this hotel. I got engaged at the hotel. My husband and I's first date was at this hotel, and we got married at this hotel. Now, it has the most amazing spa. There's something called the grotto, which is this experience where you just, before you do your spa treatment, there's all these different, there's a sauna, a hot sauna, a steam room, a steam shower, a jacuzzi, hot tub area, and just, it's this whole experience, and it's just wonderful. But the hotel itself is just, oh, it's gorgeous. The grounds are gorgeous. The pools are gorgeous. There's actually a lower basement kind of hidden pool that not that many people know about, that back in the 70s, there were themed rooms surrounding this pool that you could rent by the hour. This hotel has scandalous history, and I love it. I'm all there for it. It's also super haunted, supposedly. They do a nightly ghost tour that I've been on quite a few times. It's a lot of fun. There is a beautiful upstairs bar. There's a new wine bar and a new coffee shop area, and they just completely redid their restaurant area, and it is just wonderful. I've never had anything but a fantastic experience at the Elms, and it's actually one of the reasons that I go to Excelsior Springs all the time, because I love the Elms so much. So, if you're looking for a wonderful, wonderful weekend getaway experience where you can just dress up fancy and eat in a fun restaurant and hang out in a really cool bar that smells like rich mahogany and leather books, and then go on a ghost tour, you should go to the Elms. Highly recommend it. It is a little pricier than all these other places I've talked about. It's around between $200 and $300 per night. So pricier, but you know what? For a splurge or a really romantic date night, absolutely worth it. Also, ask to stay in one of the haunted rooms, because woo, fun. And there you go, folks. There are 5 different places that are near and dear to my heart, that are pretty close to Warrensburg, Missouri, or Kansas City, Missouri, within a couple hours. And it's just a really fun weekend trip. Everyone needs to take weekend trips sometimes with their friends, by themselves, or with their loved ones, because you just need to get away and experience new, fun, wonderful places. And I hope that this video of 5 of my favorite places to visit in Missouri maybe helps you with your decision on where should I go on my next date night. I hope you have liked my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe right down below because I make a new one every single week and you're gonna wanna get notified. Also, my contact information is right down below. If you have any questions, reach out. I love talking to people. See you next time.